in Sri Lanka. I sound like a radio jockey now. Now, next is we have a very interesting person. He's a director at Aplova Inc. and founding member of YAL IT Hub. This is Baladasan Sayandan, who is going to speak on case study of Yuki Coding School in Jaffna and Kilinochchi. I'm really excited to listen to that. So a little bit of Mr. Sayandan. I mean, I think I already spoken. Mr. Sayandan, all yours. Give me a second. I'm going to unmute you, Sayandan. Yeah, here we go.
Awesome.
We can hear you, and I'm going to play your slides when you tell me when to do.
Sure, we can start.
Remember, 5 minutes.
Yes, awesome. Would you mind opening up my slides for me?
Yes.
All right, thanks. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak about UKI, the coding school, but a little bit of context. I'm talking about a program which is run by YAL IT Hub. YAL IT Hub is a not-for-profit social enterprise. It's a community program. It's run by the community for the community. And just to put it into context, I'm just being a spokesman here. There's a lot of people's work that I'm representing here because more than 300, 400 people volunteer with us every year to make things happen through YAL IT Hub. So if you mind moving on to the next slide, please. Right, so our mission is to build Jaffna into an innovation hub. That's what we kind of work on. And we've been running different programs. We've been running for the last 8 years something called as YAL Geek Challenge, which is like an entrepreneurship competition. To put the story short, today alumni of YAL Geek Challenge run about 25 companies and startups, and they employ 250 plus people. And then we went into schools. We've been running for the last 8 years YAL Geek Challenge Junior, and that's for school children. And we've discovered child prodigies every year. Like we had the YAL Geek Challenge Junior online yesterday. The quality of the students that we've seen is phenomenal. And we've been always impressed by the quality that these kids could actually put up and kind of showcase. But while working on these two, we understood that there was a black hole. We saw so much talent at school, and by the time the industry or the open category, they were disappearing. So would you mind moving on to my next slide, please? Right, so this is where we started analyzing what was happening with our education system. We realized if 100 students today sit for A-levels in most part of this island, what happens is only less than 20 would have enough marks to get into a state university or would have the financial resources to pursue a private degree on their own, where there was this disconnect where they couldn't get into, especially on a tech industry perspective, there's a huge scarcity for technology people. So that's where, being people who work in the tech industry, we started realizing although we had 3 and 4 year degrees, most of what we need for the industry are things that we learned after joining the industry. So that's the thing that we realized, and then we had the aha moment where we thought like, okay, we can create a program where we can skill them with those required skills and then send them into the industry as interns. So would you mind moving on to my next slide, please? So that's where we came up with UKI. So it's Tamil, in Tamil it's UKI, in English it's spelled as UKI. And UKI is a stepping stone to tech life. So our concept is to train students fresh out of A-levels and equip them with the skills needed by the industry. So these are kids who have just sat for A-levels. They might not have even passed A-levels, but we take them in and then we make sure that these are kids who don't have the financial resources to go in for a private education. We then skill them with whatever that's needed for the industry and then send them in as interns into the tech industry. So we wanted to do this experiment in 2017. Would you mind moving on to my next slide, please? So what we did was we created a 6-month program, and within the 6-month program, we focus on 4 important aspects as the major part of the course. So we teach them to program. We coach them, especially with respect to spoken English, because we realized there are a lot of kids who can write or read, but they are not capable of speaking. That was one of the biggest bottlenecks that we've seen out of the kids that we've seen in the Northern Province. So what we wanted to do was make sure that there was a spoken English component into it. And then we wanted to also kind of seed the idea of entrepreneurship, but instead of saying explicitly, we said that we wanted to give them basic business skills, and then we did personal coaching and mentoring, because the kids that we are taking in are kind of traumatized, to be honest, because they didn't have the option of getting into a state university, and they're kind of the A-level failures, and the society has been trampling on them, to be honest, to a certain extent. So we had to give them personal coaching and mentoring as part of this program. So this is a 6-month program, and then what we did was we then let them dream during this time. So this is like one of the things that they have as part of personal coaching is to come up with their own dream board or the dream that they want to kind of work on. Would you mind moving on to my next slide, please? Right. So to cut the long story short, the Jaffna, the first center that we started in 2017 became phenomenally successful. All the kids who were available for internships after completing the 6-month course got internships at tech companies. Some of them are today breadwinners of their family, already senior software engineers, earning 100,000, 120,000, or whatever you name it. So they made that transition, and we can see them out there now being practitioners in the tech industry. So based on the success, we also made it into a cookie cutter model where we could replicate. So we opened up a second center in Jaffna and also a center in Kilinochchi. Kilinochchi was a risk as far as we thought at the start of it, because we thought that Kilinochchi might not have enough volume of children who might be able to take the kind of stuff that we are trying to give. But we were proven wrong. Kilinochchi became phenomenally successful. So the output that we've seen in Kilinochchi, to be honest, is even sometimes comparably even better than Jaffna, the kind of students that come out and the kind of work that they've been doing. From the 3 centers that we run, we have 153 students who have completed the program. 95% of the students who are available for internships have got internships at tech companies or in the industry. And then 5 of these children actually have gone on to run their own startups as well. So one of the things that we do at Ooki is outcome-based learning. We don't teach them algorithms or anything like that. They have a project, they get into a team, and during the 6 months, they need to build the project. So there's no exam to get the certificate. So if they manage to kind of build that prototype of software, then they get the certificate. So they have to build as a team. Some of them fall in love with the concept, and then what they do is then they get into kind of going and doing that as a startup. So one of such startup is called as Ole. Ole is a Palmera product online trading platform. So this girl is 21 years old. She came from Ooki, Kilinochchi, and then what we also do is we allow them to explore other areas and with intersection of technologies. For example, Ole is one startup which is on Palmera products. There's another startup called as Kuku Eats, which is the Uber Eats for Jaffna, which is another Ooki student who runs it. Then these are 21, 22-year-olds who have become entrepreneurs who are running these. And then there's another startup called as Treaty, which is just coming up, which is basically a furniture startup. So what they're trying to do is they're using technology, intersecting with these other industries and building startups around that. And we give like a platform where they could come and kind of explore these kind of options as well. So these are just some pictures of Ooki Kilinochchi. Would you mind just moving on to the next slide, please? So this is one of the kids which I was talking about. Like she's Yadusha. She is from Kilinochchi Ooki, and she went in to compete at GSCA's global competition, and she was competing against all the other top universities in Sri Lanka, including Jawaharlal, Colombo, and everything. And she actually became the winner of it, and she was selected to represent Sri Lanka in South Africa to pitch and share her story. And this kid was caught in the war during that time. Her story is pretty moving if you actually listen to her story. And this kid to come today and realizing that she could do a startup on Palmera is just absolutely beautiful. So what we've realized is they are sponges. When they're given the opportunity, they're doing pretty well. Would you mind just moving on to the next slide, please? Right, yeah. So that's the part that I wanted to cover. So what I had realized is when these kids are given the opportunity and to kind of explore, they are being like sponges. Especially I've seen this impact happening in Kilinochchi and Jaffna both. And I think career counseling sometimes, like from a career perspective, I think we've all traditionally looked at it in a sense like where you go and run a seminar at the school, you go and run a workshop at a school. I kind of disagree with that. It is far more in-depth thing that's needed, especially in our community, to make things happen. So that's the point and the case study I want to share today. Thank you.